So after much thought and careful consideration, I've decided that what the Stagea needs most, and what I probably should have done with the Z all along, was an LS conversion. For the alternator, oh yeah, man, today, this is what we're doing. But before we start that, I want to kind of show you some other things that I've been up to. I got to get an early jump on the day. There are a lot of things going on, and I want to show you these things before they disappear. Let's go outside real quick. Finally enjoying some sustained good weather, man, and I also took a couple weeks of vacation to get some work done and really focus on some things that I've been putting off for a long time because of circumstance, work, weather, and all that crap. Also had a fair few amount of distractions. I had a coworker with a Jeep Grand Cherokee that needed work, had a Ford Escape that needed work, a service on my Jazz, and then I got another free car. Yeah, I got this 2001 BMW 320i. Had been sitting in someone's yard for about a year. It hadn't ran. They thought it was an electrical problem or a charging issue or something of that nature. Brought it back, did some diagnosis, spent probably $120 on this car between a crank sensor, a cam sensor, and a new valve cover gasket. And guys, she is purring and running amazing. It is a 5-speed. It is freaking awesome. It needed a lot of help to get back to amazing. It was pretty foul inside here from sitting for so long. Now she is super funky and super fly, but I'm taking her to sell her today, actually. I am not going to keep this car, even though I really want to. To be honest, the Jazz keeps me grounded, man. The Jazz keeps me where I need to be. Don't need another wagon in my life. I have the business to take care of with this thing, to move her on to the new owner, hopefully put some money back into the TueZday garage pot and keep our projects moving along. Fingers crossed, man. Have some good fortune getting her sold. Baby, you're my one and only. It's been fun. Been a great couple weeks. I've really enjoyed you, but bye-bye. Oh, baby, it is shaping up to be a great day. This day was already amazing. It was already starting out great. After I left you guys, I went for a great run, got the juices flowing, got the blood flowing, feeling great. Then got a notification that I had a package at the local post office, so I went to go pick that up. The car got dropped off to where it's going to be advertised for sale. Grabbed some great lunch, and the package that I got, guys, oh snap. I haven't opened it yet, but this is the new snail for the Stagea. Let's open this together, and then we'll move on and start talking about all this. Start talking about these. Maybe do something with those today. Kind of unplanned, but it's very necessary. I'm freaking stoked. Shipping overseas can be difficult and complicated. Luckily, my brother, who you guys might remember from Portland, in very good hands.
Weird in Portland. Yeah, buddy.
I was able to have this sent to him first, and then he sent it to me. I ordered this probably back in December. They had about a month to get it put together. The shipping to him, then the shipping to me has taken about a month and a half, but it is finally here, and I am so freaking excited, guys. Let's see. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah, that looks freaking dope. All right, let me open this tie, and then, yeah, I'll be right back with you. This looks freaking gorgeous. Old and crusty, new hotness. This is an OEM RB25 turbo that has been machined and then had new internals put in it. Oh, so smooth. Pure turbos. The wheel here on the compressor side compared to that, I mean, obviously but you can just see the difference in the size. Let's flip it over to the turbine side. Definitely looks like a different center section, which is cool. Holy crap. Look at that. Look at the freaking difference, man. Good Lord. That is a huge difference. All the benefits of the stock turbo, I am so freaking jazzed. It also came with the new oil line. Here's some new studs. And then this was also inside there, and I think my brother received these, put them in the same box and forwarded on to me. Let me open these up. Franklin Engineering in New Zealand. These are new 10AN rocker cover fittings 426. If I haven't been explicit in it, I am changing out the RB25 covers for RB26 covers. They're with my buddy Andrew in El Paso. We're waiting on the machining to the front cover, put on the RB25 hump, and then everything will be powder coated and sent this way. And I can't wait to show you guys the color because I don't think I've showed you guys yet, but man, the color, this is amazing. I am super jazzed about this. Huge shout out to Chris, man. Chris, thank you so much, dude. I love you. I miss your face, dude. I really do. Because of everything going on, I should have already been back to your house by now, and we should have been wrenching on the RBZ to get that new transmission and that rear main seal done. Soon, brother. Soon, when things are better, I'm coming back to your place, and we're going to get that project knocked out, and I cannot wait to see your project. Guys, I'm actually going to put his Instagram in the description of this video. He's working on that Asuna. You gotta check it out, man. It's freaking dope. It is freaking dope. Full custom turbo setup. The exhaust just got done. It looks sick. So go give him a check out and follow him and check him out. It's time to move on, and I'm not gonna take too much time to catch you up on what I've been working on. I've been posting little pieces and parts on my Instagram, so go check that out. The main focus today is to get the LS1 Alternator Conversion done. So let's talk about the cheat code for this PRP LS1 Alternator kit. From what I understand, you could pretty much use any LS alternator, but there's one alternator in particular above all, like the ring, right? One alternator to rule them all. This one right here, 2004 Pontiac GTO. The reason why this one is the preferred one above all others is because of this right here, the Nissan shaped plug. And this is actually the power harness right here, and you can see it is a perfect fit. Why do this conversion? The stock alternator for the RB is only 80, 90 amps. The LS alternator is 140 amps. Huge difference. Bigger fuel pumps, bigger injectors, engine management systems, gauges. Maybe like me with a Stagea, I want to put a sound system in it. All these things add up and they have power demands. The one thing that you want super consistent is power, especially when it comes to injector pulse. Now with the RBZ, we actually bought, and I can't remember the name of it. I'll go back and I'll look it up and I'll do this or here. I spent like, I don't know, I think it was close to $500 through Right Hand Drive Japan to get the actual like high energy, I think it's 140, 150 amp alternator made for the RB. Now they have a way sexier kit here. This is $200. Let's say you go the cheaper route, you get a refurbished LS1 alternator, you're talking $50, $75. So you're talking $250 as opposed to $450, $500 for the RB alternator. So, and like you're never gonna spend this $200 again. You're only gonna spend the money to replace the alternator. So long term, like this is definitely the way to go. Just like life, it evolves and we learn, okay? So here we are. We're learning and we're evolving. First thing we need to do is ugga-dugga this thing off of here so we can get the new pulley on here. We'll just lay all this stuff out and see what we have and move forward. I showed this thing briefly, guys, but so much has changed with the Stagea. Lately, my focus has been body work. A lot of the damage that was inside the engine bay, things that needed to be tended to on the outside, and other things that I've acquired along the way. So let's just kind of do a 360, and then we'll end up in the engine bay and kind of show you what's been going on. Not much on this side. I have been trying to restore the roof rails here, working on some of the trim pieces here, and then bam, that's the big wang. The fiberglass here is not great. There are imperfections in this. I am not going to spend a lot of time doing body filler and body work. I sanded it down. I tried to smooth out a lot of the edges because some of the fiberglass work was really rough. Coated it in a fillable primer. It gets the job started. So there are a lot of things on this car that I have decided body-wise I'm not going to necessarily mess with. There's no point in doing stuff now or adding extra coats of paint that just have to be removed and dealt with later. So some of the stuff I'm just going to be primering, taking care of the damage that is not healthy to the overall car itself. In the grand scheme of things, there will be a complete transformation as far as body and paint in the next couple years. But right now, that's not our focus. And something that my buddy Andrew back in El Paso gave me a long time ago, the freaking Lunch Money Racing slap, dude. Like he has on his white GTR, we now are sporting our Lunch Money Racing logo on the underside of our big wang. I love the way that looks. Moving on to this side, the only reason why the skirt is removed here is because it's just easier access underneath the car for doing things when I was working on the prop shaft and some of the power steering stuff. This tire is still freaking flat, dude. I took this to the shop. They said they took it off the rim. They put it on the rim and then bam, it's still flat again. They said they checked the tire to make sure that it didn't have any damage. We're gonna have to air this up, dude. This looks sad. I've got a solution for it, and I think it's gonna be a cool solution for the day. And so let's move inside. The interior is basically completely back together minus the dashboard. It's just because I'm still working out the final wiring of the gauges. Also took the liberty of removing some of the automatic transmission stuff that'll have to come out eventually that I won't be able to get to. All right, moving under the engine bay. There's been a lot of changes here. There's been a lot of changes. So many things, and I'm trying to remember where we last left off. I have not yet run the lines. The starter is back in. I have cleaned and painted and refurbished that, so that looks all funky fine and fresh. We move over here. Brake booster's back in. The brake master cylinder is back in. The lines, I already have some gold tape. I'm gonna do all the lines for the gold tape. I am not removing the ABS, even though the ABS is out right now. Wiring harness has been redone. This we did quite a long time ago. It's really just a temporary fix. I've had a lot of discussion with the dudes at Wiring Specialties. Talked about, you know, like what the future goals are for this car. We're kind of holding off on a wiring harness until we get the aftermarket ECU and the 5-speed conversion. Way easier for them to be able to produce a wiring harness for this car. So looking back here, it might be really hard to tell. Dash 6 AN fittings down there to these lines coming up here. The chase bays, power steering. Now this line is a little too long. One of the things I've determined is that this kit is definitely not made for an all-wheel drive RB. Too easy. I'm just gonna take this fitting off, cut the line, and then put the fitting back on, and everything will be fine. Primer, taking care of a lot of a rust. And then this area here, it's primered, but it is a million times better than what it was. You can see how pitted it is from the freaking rust. Even the frame rail down here has got some pitting in it. This is the hole that I cut. There was a bracket here. I was able to drill out all the spot welds and pull the whole bracket off, but the holes were so numerous that it was easier just to cut a gigantic hole here. It's way bigger than what we need, but it's gonna be fine. The new battery is mounted. Everything is good to go with that. This might be controversial, but I assure you, everything's going to be fine. Normally the fuse box sits right here for the Skyline chassis. It is now down here, guys. You could see it right there. I just don't have the cover on. You remember, right? The intercooler used to be way far forward. Previous owners to cut a huge chunk of this away because there was a pipe sticking out. Plate used to be right here. This is not optimal. This is an exceptional situation. The bumper, it's already jacked up. It's already messed up. This is not going to be the bumper that I have on here permanently. I cut this huge large mouth out. It's going to be great for right now. Again, it doesn't look it looks cheap. It looks cheap, but let's back. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Having the plate coming over here serves as a functional thing because it's mounted in 3 points to hold this piece of the lip together that was kind of just blah, 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 because of the massive hack job that was done before. Eventually I'm going to black this piece out and these little nubs out here, and I think it'll just kind of bring it all together. All things considered, I'm proud of what I did here. I'm proud of what I did. I contemplated it. I photoshopped it, drew it out in my mind. I sat here and stared at the car for hours. Probably a lot of people thinking I'm some freaking weirdo. Then in the end of the day, I just sent it and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So yeah, let me pull this bumper off. The intercooler has since been centered. Just had to manipulate the top bracket a little bit. And you could see the new, what is it? Superior Super Sport bass horn combo right here. I've already been able to test these, hooking them up to the battery, and they're so freaking loud. Definitely better than the meeps that were going on with the knockoff red circle ones. So here's the fuse box. Again, I don't have the cover on it. On this side, I've got the room for the window washer reservoir and the coolant reservoir, but I'm waiting until the turbo piping gets it put in place. All right, enough rambling. Let's get to what we came for, the LS Alternator Conversion. I'm pretty excited to install this kit, so without any further ado, man, let's get it knocked out. straightforward. That looks freaking mint. But I like the fitment of everything. I like the make of everything. I mentioned earlier about doing the timing belt, but guys, I started looking at some of my other pieces and parts. They're grungy. I don't feel like cleaning right now. I just don't. I still want to just kind of fit the PRP unit, but before we could do that, we have to put the new backing plate. We are changing out the 25 covers to the 26 covers. We all know that the front shape is slightly different. There's a plate, a backing plate that goes behind the cam gears here. If you're gonna do 26 covers, you have to swap that out as well. Now this wasn't super expensive. I think it was like 50 bucks. And on the back here, you see this little tab right there. There was supposed to be one on this side as well. This tab on this side gets in the way of this solenoid, so you just gotta hack it off. All I need to do is mount this plate up to the head. Yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Little bit of a, I guess, an oopsie moment. I started to put this one in and noticed that the hole is ever so slightly off. I think it's just because of the way the head is cast to hold this solenoid, the nub for that hole. I'm gonna think about what I want to do with that. I think it should be fine. This slight bit of movement, but the cover is pure metal, so the rigidity should hold it in place. I don't anticipate this being a problem. I am gonna leave this here just to provide that spacing. It should be good, and especially once we put our bracket here. Ooh, wind is picking up. Let's just kind of fit up just to kind of take a look at it and everything like that. Obviously, I'm gonna have to take it off later when I do the timing belt and put everything together, but I just wanted to see it kind of fitted with the new plate. Yeah, man, pretty exciting. You know, I was just about to say how nice it's been today. Probably because of the cold weather, there's been a lot less children out playing. But that seems to have changed because now with the sunlight, they're all coming out. The last few days, it's been nonstop screaming, just ah, ah, ah. I don't think any of these kids take naps. I don't think they even paused to eat lunch. Unless while they were taking naps, they were like, ah, and they were eating lunch, ah, ah. I don't know. I don't know, but it's nice. Today's been nice. I need to take care of this flat. I thought I took care of it once. It's time to try and take care of it again. I'm going to pull out a new spare, fit it on here so I can take care of this, and that'll give us a first look at some really cool future stuff. So after all of that, I did not film my initial reaction for two reasons. One, I wasn't 100%. I didn't feel what I thought I was gonna feel 100%. Number two, battery died. So it wouldn't have mattered. I'm 98, 99% good to go. I took the time while the camera was recharging. I took the time to do all the other remaining wheels and put some of the body back together. And yeah. Yes, I like it. It's kind of, I guess, quote unquote monster trucking, but again, I'm not a coilover guy. This is a fresh Nismo suspension, so it is going to settle over time. What really caught me off guard was the fitment in the back. I actually made this combo choice based on a forum I saw. The guy had the exact same fitment. Maybe he had camber that wasn't really obvious or talked about, but it's definitely more poke than I'd prefer. But I'm not 100% upset with it. I might look at getting guards or something, try something like that, and just see if I can kind of bring this gap down a little bit. That might actually be pretty dope, just considering how square this car is. Not the thick ones, but just the little tiny ones. Might be worth a small investment. These are Kansai's, And let me talk about why they're cons. I knew early on I wanted to put GTR wheels on this car. Without a doubt, 100% GTR wheels. There were so many times where I almost bought a set of GTR wheels and I didn't pull the trigger on them, and the next thing you know, they were gone. It really boiled down to a couple things to me. You know, I like to kind of have a certain degree of continuity, and I am not trying to hide the fact that it has an RB25 in it. I didn't want to build another RB26. Let's look at this dark side. Man, that looks freaking, I like it, dude. That said, I didn't want to buy GTR wheels because the center caps have GTR on them, and I'm not trying to rep any GTR-ness in this Stagea. Like, I'm trying to rep RB25-ness. That's really kind of what it boils down to. Oh, look at this. Man, and that wing does it too. Like dude, my younger boy, my middle child, calls this the sports hearse. Like, 100%, dude. So I lost my train of thought. The GTR wheels look great. They do have a certain degree of concave to them, but then I found these wheels, and like the freaking concave is sick nasty, dude. Like, it is really good. Like, I really like it. Back in the day, I used to get the JDM Z nose panel. Comes on the JDM 300ZXs, and that's what I used to use for center caps. I might try to find something Stagea, like maybe a double unicorn. I'm gonna think about that. I'm not 100% certain, but I am 100% certain that I like this transformation. I am 100% certain I'm gonna at least get a cheapo set of these dudes. If anything, double-sided tape them up and just see what I feel about them. I think that would actually be pretty dope. Definitely wasn't intending on putting these wheels on today, but like I said, I have to take care of this flat. So sick of this car just looking so daggone sad out here. These wheels would not be possible without my brother Chris. Once again, just like the turbo, I had to ship everything to him, then he repackaged and shipped them to me here in Germany. It's been a long process trying to get these wheels. I bought them way back in June. Chris, like, I love you, bro. Thank you so much for all you've done and you continue to do with housing the RBZ at your house. Oh man, I owe you so much. I'm just waiting on a couple other little odds and ends. Nothing major at this point. The turbo was the last piece of the major puzzle. I'm excited, dude. I'm excited, and you should be excited too. I'm gonna be driving this thing really soon. Really soon. Guys, I'm gonna let you go. I hope to not be too distracted by other projects and other cars in the near future. I still have a few more days of this long Easter weekend. Happy Good Friday, happy Easter. Hope it was well for you. And guys, this has been great hanging out once again and together in the TueZday garage. Ciao a tutti and aloha. Bye-bye.